Hi everyone. Today I wanted to answer a question that I get quite often, especially when it comes time for annual performance appraisal, performance review time in workplaces. Leaders ask me this question an awful lot, which is, how do I have that conversation where I need to explain to one of my direct reports what the difference is between meeting expectations and exceeding expectations, if that's the language that your performance appraisal instrument uses. So that can always be an awkward situation to have to deal with, where someone says, look, I thought I was doing everything that you asked. I don't know what more I could be doing. How do I reach that exceeds expectations category? And here's how you can get started with that conversation. You can say, first of all, yes, you are doing everything that I've asked. And yes, you are fulfilling all of the requirements of your job description. So therefore, that is meeting expectations. But I'm glad that you asked about how to exceed expectations, because the answer is, I don't know how you can exceed expectations. That's kind of the definition, right? Someone exceeds expectations when they offer you a positive and pleasant surprise by going above and beyond in unusual, unexpected, and unanticipated ways. That's the definition of exceeding expectations. So that's a really powerful point you can make to someone who reports to you, and ask them, I want you to spend time thinking about the ways in which you can positively surprise me and exceed my expectations in ways that I couldn't have even foreseen. And if I have to explain to you how to do that, then that really defeats the purpose. Now, you can also offer them examples from the past. Say, this is someone in the past that worked for me, that exceeded expectations at this point by doing X, Y, Z, and let that be kind of an illustrative example for them. And I hope that that helps. But also, you never want to go into specifics where you kind of lock yourself into a contract with the person and say, if you do X, Y, Z, then I will give you the exceeds expectation mark on your performance review. So when you do that, if you say, oh, if you complete these tasks, or you show growth in these areas, especially if it's a subjective question like that, then you're setting yourself up for another conflict in the future where they say, hey, I did all the things that you were asking for. Now you owe me that exceeds expectation mark. So you don't want to lock yourself there. Also, if you start telling somebody exactly what they can do to exceed expectations, another problem with that is that they're going to maybe interpret that as you asking them to go, or instructing them, commanding them to go above and beyond their job description in ways they didn't necessarily agree to. So that can cause another set of issues or conflicts in the future if it looks like you're establishing the bare minimum for them as something that exceeds what the job actually requires. And I hope that that makes sense. So keep that in mind, that the definition of exceeding expectations means that you went above and beyond in unexpected, unanticipated ways that were a surprise to your particular boss. And I think that's the point that needs to be made in those conversations. So I hope that's helpful, and please feel free to leave me your comments and ask questions that I can hopefully try to tackle in future videos. Thank you.